Shalom. Long and sure. Welcome into the rock. I know for a lot of people, this is your new year. For those of you that don't know, or are not of the faith, my new year does not start until March, April, basically when the barley goes to bib, Passover, around that time is when my new year starts. But I know a lot of you are celebrating, the new year, so I'm doing this video for those of us that are in the faith and those of us that aren't. Hopefully you'll look into, the biblical new year. Something to think about. But a lot of people in the transition from the Roman year 2021 to 2022 said a lot of lofty things that they wanted to do. Things they wanted to get accomplished, things that they wanted to get done. And then here we are, and we're ended the Roman year 2022. And we're now in 2023. And for a lot of people, you're still in the same position that you were in 2022, in 2021, and 2020, God forbid. And I think you need to take a real hard look at your direction, what you're doing, and even if what you're saying is real. I know a lot of people say a lot of very interesting things, or they say the things that are right. They know the right answer. One of the things I tell the sisters here, I'm like, a lot of people today know the right answers, but they don't do the right answers. There's a difference between knowing the right answer and doing the right answer. The same way there's a difference between reciting what the Bible says and living what the Bible says. So there's a lot of people that, have said a lot of things. And, as an individual, you have to really take a look at yourself and ask yourself, do your words carry value? If you are constantly telling yourself year after year you're going to do something, but year after year you end the year in the same position that you're in, and that's whether you're doing the Hebrew calendar or the Roman calendar. Every year you end your year in essentially the same position. You got to really take a look at what you're doing throughout the year. Look at what you're doing year by year. Your life should be progressing. You should be getting closer to whatever goals it is that you have set. Not further away or not staying stagnant or in the same place. For myself, I do that regularly. I look at where I am this year and I ask myself, am I further than I was last year? Can you physically see the growth of myself, my family, the homestead? Can you see the growth spiritually of myself, my family, my homestead? Can you see, the physical growth? Can you see the progress? Can you see the vision? Every year, the vision should become more clear. People should be able to see the picture of the vision. Year one, let's say you're painting a face. Year one, you see the nose, or you may be seeing the nose being done, and then by the end of year two you had the ears done, and so the picture should become clearer to those around you. Nothing is worse than saying that you're trying to do something and year by year you're in the same position. It's kind of like food storage. I do that with my food storage. I do that with things that I put back. I look year by year and say, did I grow my food storage? Proportionately, considering there are 12 moons and they all, did my food storage grow in this year? Did our physical fitness get better this year? Did our skills grow this year? So I'll go and look at the sewing machines and say, okay, I bought, this year I bought 500 yards of fabric. Where did those 500 yards of fabric go? Okay, we have 200 yards left, so we 300 yards this year of fabric. Where did it go? I bought 10,000 yards of thread. Where did it go? Of black thread. Where did it go? And you start looking at these things, and because you want to progress, you want to go to the next level, the next stage. You don't want to stay. You look at our people in the Bible, they were constantly growing, constantly drawing closer to the Father, constantly. And if you weren't growing, it was usually an indicator of sin. If there wasn't growth happening in your life, it was usually a great indicator of sin, or Yah forbid, a cutoff. Yah's not dealing with you. And that's how I take things personally in my own life, is there should be a constant growth. That shows, yeah, right there. That shows that progression. I look in the Bible and look at, how our ancient people walked, and there was that growth. There was that constant move forward. And usually, I'm reading about the wars of Israel that they fought in Joshua and Judges, and I'm in 1 Samuel. And I was reading, and I was like, whenever Yah gave Israel victory, it said how many died from the enemy. And whenever Yah was punishing Israel, it showed how many died within Israel. 5,000, 3,000, 10,000, 30,000, it showed. And usually when Israel was being punished, they were the ones losing all the lives. So you want to ask yourself, are you growing? Are you progressing forward? Because we are now, it's becoming more evident. If you're not growing and if you're not moving forward, it's more easily seen. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this light. It's more easily seen if you're not growing. And your lack of growth could and likely will be that thing that holds you back as these years progress and they get worse, because they are getting worse. I said it last year, and I'm saying it this year, 2022. I said it was going to be a doozy. 2023 is going to be far more than a doozy. 2023 is going to be terrible. And I feel personally for people are going to meet, aspects and parts in their lives where they're not going to know what to do. And that's because they didn't grow from 2021 to 2022, 2022 to 2023. So make sure that you are progressing. Make sure that you are moving forward. Make sure that you are drawing closer to your goal. If your goal was to save, $20,000 in 2022, then look and see, did you save that? If your goal was to get closer to buying a new, buying some land or whatever, ask yourself, did you get closer to that? Considerably. I'm not talking about, between 2021 and 2022, I saved $200 towards, no. I'm talking about, if you want big rewards, if you want, you have to invest big. You have to invest more than just 5 minutes of your time, $20 of your money. You have to invest big. And the further we go down this path, if you're not investing into what you want, there's not going to be that sort of reward. It seems to me that everybody expects the Father to give them a $50,000 windfall when they're only willing to give him 5 minutes of their time, 10% of their life. They want him to bless them with this absolute phenomenal change, but they're not willing to show him that they are good stewards, that they would be a good servant. They more have the character of the, they talk about the three servants. One got 5, one got 2, one got 1. More people are more like the one. They're going to bury it in the sand. But they're continually asking Yah for this great windfall. When he is seen in your life continually, you will bury that in the sand. You have buried almost every other blessing you've gotten in the sand and have not progressed them, have not moved them forward. And here you are again asking him for something else. You got to move forward. You got to move forward. Your life, your children, your family, your future depend on the decisions that you're making right now. And some of y'all aren't making any decisions. You're in the same place you were this year as you were last year, without direction. Or maybe you do have a direction, but you're unwilling to invest the time and the effort and the resources and the blood and the sweat and the tears and the sacrifice to get it. Oh, goodness. So I truly hope that you see the things that are happening in this world and you have made a conscious, real effort to move forward. And if you haven't made that decision last year, just understand that time is running out. And like I said before, if you don't make the decisions now, there is a high probability that somebody, not holy, not righteous, somebody out there is going to be making that decision for you. And you don't want the decisions for your family, your household, your life, your children, your vision to be made by somebody else. When you could have just followed the path that the Most High had set you, walked in obedience in it, and reaped the benefits. All right. With that being said, hoping you're having a blessed first day and getting some things done. Because I sure know I am. Because I have the vision. Yah gave it to me. And I know where the direction that he wants me to go. And I'm going to walk in it. In obedience to him. And in every day making a step forward towards the goal. Showing him that I'm that good servant. Bless y'all. Shalom.